should never write off a host nation, especially when it's the Germans. It would be wrong to say they've had a smooth preparation for this tournament when you take the entirety of the 2 years into consideration. Erratic performances spelled the end for Hansi Flick last September, but the appointment of Julian Nagelsmann seems to have built up the confidence again. A double-header friendly win over France and Holland in March has been the key to that. Kai Havertz will lead their line with a good choice of attacking options around him, and the romantic angle will be Toni Kroos seeking to follow up his winning Champions League farewell by adding an international tournament to his victory lap. They should be able to top this group with the potential to have a tight race for the runners-up position. Their first game is against Scotland, kicks off the competition, and the Scots, to be fair, will have a huge support too, with a midfield of McGinn, McTominay, McGregor and Gilmore, giving them the prospect of being competitive in every fixture. They might just need them to score their goals as well. Hungary's long unbeaten run was ended in Dublin, but they have always show up when there's points on the line and have a sturdy spine running through their team, in addition to a fluid attacking style. Switzerland knocked out France 4 years ago, and it's tempting to resort to stereotype by extolling the virtues of their experience and efficiency, but cracks were evident on the road here. Their coach Murat Yakin survived a vote of confidence after qualifying, but his relationship with his squad has become a talking point. The second seeds could be vulnerable. Spain, Italy and Croatia in the same Euros group. Albania, we feel your pain. Similar to Poland in 2012, this has been christened the Group of Death, although in a 24-team tournament, it's closer to a group of possible death, with 4 out of the 6 third-place teams going through to the knockout phase. Spain are the favourites to top the group. Incredibly, they've exited the last 3 tournaments via a penalty shootout. They're stacked in midfield, but light at centre-half, and relying on unlikely heroes Alvaro Morata and Joselu in the centre-forward department. Italy, the defending champions, were left in a spot of bother last year when Roberto Mancini bagged $25 million a year for the honour of taking over Saudi Arabia. His replacement, Luciano Spalletti, is one of the top coaches in the tournament, but he's been tinkering formations, and confidence levels behind their campaign appear to be reasonably low. Croatia are still reliant on the core of the squad that has brought them to the business end of back-to-back World Cups. At some stage, it'll be a bridge too far for Modric, Kovacic and Brozovic, but if they end up in third spot, all the group winners will want to avoid them because of their comfort in the knockout format. Here in Ireland, we've become accustomed to England building themselves up for a massive fall. A humiliating Euro 2016 lowered expectations a little, but then Gareth Southgate's team went to Russia under the radar and came away feeling they possibly could have won it. This has created a new era of expectation, and they start this competition as favourites, bidding to go one better than the last Euros when they had a 1-0 lead and home advantage in the final and still managed to lose it. There's plenty of reasons to believe England can go very far, but they can't take their eye off the ball in a group that most of their fans will view as an easy one on paper. They start against Serbia, who are poor at the back, but pack a punch in the attacking department that might just test an English team trying new defensive combinations with Harry Maguire out. Our old friends in Denmark are perceived to have gone backwards since the last Euros when they advanced to the Final Four, but they've got big game experience and the threat of Rasmus Højlund. Slovenia are the underdogs, but with Jan Oblak in goals and Red Bull Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko up top, they can stay in games. If England come second in their group, they'll likely face Germany in the round of 16. They could do without that drama. Ireland squad members will sympathise with the plight of Poland and Austria, who have found themselves in the same group as France and the Netherlands. France proved themselves the better side in regular qualifying, and they should be aspiring to go all the way here. Their main enemy in the groups will be complacency. Ronald Koeman's Dutch plans have been complicated by injuries, with Frankie de Jong's unavailability removing a key part of their game plan, but they'll still expect to go through. But Austria could be rivals for second spot. They've thrived under Ralf Rangnick. He's a lot more popular there than he was at Manchester United. Confirmation that David Alaba won't make it is a sickener, but Austria's squad is packed with top-tier players, and Rangnick has only suffered one defeat since the beginning of 2023. He's just turned down an approach from Bayern Munich to stay in this job. Poland fell over the line into the finals after an underwhelming campaign where they changed manager and lost the faith of the public. They failed to meet expectations in recent tournaments when they were expected to do well. This time, they don't even have that expectation. Belgium's golden generation is now their older generation, but they've landed a fairly kind group that should allow them to progress to the knockouts. Their 38-year-old Italian coach, Domenico Tedesco, is in the same age range as senior members of his squad, which is quite unusual at international level, and there is a fear in Belgium that this crop have missed their chance. Now, Jeremy Doku has matured since Qatar, and Leandro Trossard is improving, so it would be daft to disregard them, especially when they have Kevin De Bruyne in their ranks. Ukraine are their main rivals here. Considering they haven't played a proper home game in 3 years, they deserve a pass for a few hiccups in qualifying. And they've got players with a good age profile in their ranks and in form, most notably Girona duo Viktor Tashankov and Artem Dovbyk. Dovbyk, he was the top scorer in La Liga this year. And then there's Mikhailo Mudryk, who may not have caught fire at Chelsea, but he's still suited to his country's counter-attacking style. Romania went unbeaten in qualifying, which was impressive after getting relegated in the Nations League beforehand. They'll be operating at a lower level than Ireland in the autumn, but will dine at the top table this summer. Just don't expect high-scoring games from them. Clean sheets was the main reason they got here. On seedings, Slovakia were the biggest surprise story of 2023, seeing as they were pot 5 in the qualifying draw. Mind you, they did reach the last Euro, so it's not like they've been in the wilderness. Their head coach, Francesco Calzona, has had an unusual prep for the finals. He took over Napoli for the final 3 months of the Serie A campaign. They have a lot of experience in their squad, but lack the quality of Belgium and Ukraine. In Aveiro on Tuesday, we were given a glimpse of the quality that Portugal possess, and it wasn't even close to their full-strength side. While it would be risky to place too much stock on the evidence of a weak qualifying group that they blitzed in every department, it's clear to see that Roberto Martinez is working with one of the best squads here. There's a real incentive for topping the group, as that means they wouldn't meet another group winner until the semis. And they have the depth to rotate, so achieving that goal shouldn't take too much out of them. Cristiano Ronaldo's use may become a talking point later along the line, but he'll be keen to score goals in this group, and you know he won't let up. Turkey and the Czech Republic have both changed manager in the past year. The Turks, who'll have a lot of local support in Germany, went for Vincenzo Montella to see them through the final stage of qualifying. He's won praise for improving their level of control within games. Now, despite topping their group, the Czechs were happy enough to see Jaroslav Selhahi walk away, with 60-year-old Ivan Hasek, last employed as manager of Lebanon, taking control in January. Will they fight out for second? Willy Sagnol will decide that. Will he be Ireland's next manager? It would be good for Ireland's headline writers, but we're not 100% convinced that he wants the job or that the FAI still want him, but it definitely brings a level of interest to the plight of the tournament's only debutants. Georgia made it through the League C Nations League route, and they had less of the ball in qualifying than any of the other 23 participants. Your view of the Ireland style debate will determine if that's a good thing or not.